Hello, Proxy table gaming fans, of which there are many.
At least we're close to double figures now. I
Of
think.
people we roped into subscribing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
just jarred in. Yeah, eight of
yeah.
them don't really. They're just there for
The
the ride.
fembots. Yeah,
Yeah,
fembots. Yeah. Hey, Lucky Sixes, how are you? And I'm
not
Hyper
too
G, of
bad.
course. In case this is your first PTG video ever,
Mm,
I'm Hyper G. He's Lucky Sixes. And yeah, it's our birthday
it
today.
is. Oh
It's
yeah,
a day
of
of
date
recording,
of
isn't it?
recording. Yeah, which is
Yeah,
I think a week and a day ago. I can never get this
yeah.
right. About
Whenever
a
this
week ago.
video is
But
going out,
yes,
yeah.
but 7 years we've been doing PTG,
Happy
and
birthday. 7 years
yeah, so
old.
no, thanks everybody for has been
Mm,
part of that ride in any way, shape, or form.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's
Many
been
forms.
yeah very good, and you know what? 7 years, even as a special occasion, we don't shirk our duties. There
No,
is a
we
day
don't.
job to do, and
Yeah.
here we are here for another bat rep, and this is of 3.0 nature. This is
Mm-hmm.
the Masters Open that happened in January, so it's
Yeah.
as of the hotfix 5.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and everything's changed since then
and
already.
then
So,
I know, and that's yeah. Just deal with it, guys.
yeah,
Although
just
having said that, when this video comes out, it has stabilized somewhat. With one, I guess yeah, with one little hot
yeah,
fix to
one
come.
little hot fix. Yeah.
Yeah, also I'm told.
Mhm. Let's not go
Um,
down that route. Let's
yeah,
just enjoy
but
what we see in front of us.
exactly. But we did have a battle,
Yeah.
and it was the start of our second battle, but round three, because we've
Yeah.
just done the duel one, I think.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You
oh
played
no, this
Darren.
is yeah, I played Darren, you played Thing. So yeah,
We've seen that. Yeah.
do go check out the duel. By the way, we've had some good traction on that, and lots of people
Mm.
that were even at the Masters saying that they enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
I know
Only
Matty
Tommy
P.
didn't enjoy it, so
Well, yeah, maybe.
he's a sourpuss, so we won't worry about him. You know.
I know that yeah, Matty P and has done a bit of a breakdown as well on the Paired Weapon
Uh-huh.
podcast, and obviously we had the Fantasy Wargaming podcast
Mm.
do their one as well. So they all
Yeah.
interlink. So they're a good little trilogy of videos and
I like that.
podcasts to listen to.
Mm.
But
And Matty P is starring in this video because he's my opponent. And
yes,
it's the first time I've ever played Matty P. What a crime that is in 7 years.
no, even in like
But
practice, right? Even in
yeah,
friendly,
never.
no, yeah,
No friendlies, never been friendly at all, me
no,
and Matty. Never,
no. So
never
maybe,
once. It's always been, gonna play you in a tournament. It's
yeah,
gonna be big business. And of
and that
course,
didn't change today.
no, it didn't. And obviously, going into this, I was on 32 points. And Matty
Mm,
was on 31 points, I think, because he had a 19-1 against Aaron in round
sure.
one. And we both got 12 out of 30, out of 15, the maximum that anyone got in the dual round. So this was, for the first time in my life, heavyweight top table clash.
Oh, I
One
could
of
see you
us,
for your heights.
I know, one of us is going to fall mightily. Will it be Matty P or will it be me? Let's find out. Yeah, Dinosaur Rex, he's the one that did so well in the round, in the dual round. So now he's got to just keep punching to make his points worth it
Yeah,
in the rest of this tournament. Anorak with what was this one? Alchemy. Yeah, that's cool. Skink Veteran, Magnetic Shortbow with the Skink Warrior unit, Magnetic Shortbow units. Two small blocks of Tegu with spears, just for funsies. Another scoring unit of Skinks. Spearbacks, love Spearbacks so much. They're so good. And Thyroscutus Herd with Magnetic Greatbow, Skink Gorillas, Magnetic Shortbow, and Taurosaur. This was a shooty Saurian list, and I was going to see how it goes. And yeah, I mean, going against Matty, it's going to be tough because Sylvans. I mean, they kind of known for their shooting, but there's recent
before this.
updates to their core. To their core, let me say that again, has meant that Matty is like what 800 points over on core here, and there's a reason for that. It's because the Sylvan Archers are so flipping good that you really don't mind that you're spending core tax on them. They're strength 4 shooting effectively. Strength 4 AP
He
1,
didn't
isn't it?
even need the dryads, did he,
No, he didn't.
to
No,
get caught?
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And it's not like he needed scoring either because he's got 2 Forest Rangers. I have it on good authority that this is actually a Rooty list that Matty was using. You got a lot of info from Rooty, who is in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Masters, so
yeah,
take that as you like. And so he was borrowing in the idea of, well, he's basically just done a Terry and copy pasted for every unit he's got. He's got a second one, really,
yeah,
and that includes the Dryad Ancients almost, because apart from the well, even the spells. So apart from the additional thing, what's it called? I don't know what they're called. The toxic spores of Scar
yeah.
Park. Kindreds? Are they still called kindreds? I don't know.
Sure,
They
something like
might
that.
they might be something like that. Yeah.
Extra
It,
abilities, something.
exactly. Even those up until that point, they're exactly the same. And then the dragon, who we saw in the duel round as well. So this is tough. Strength 4 shooting. My shooting is only 18-inch range max. His is like 30. So probably not 30 actually. It's probably 24, isn't it? But still,
Well,
they ain't
to,
they
to
ain't no
put
Queen's
into
Guard, but
to put into perspective, their
they're
strength
better than
four
Queen's
AP
Guard.
one,
And Queen's
and
Guard are strength
we
4
both
AP
go on
0.
about how good the Queen's Guard are.
We
Now,
do.
granted, the
Yeah.
Queen's Guard have a bit of a better AP, but these guys can't be shot at better than a 4 up either. So even if
Yeah.
you've got good shooting, same with the
Yes, a
Forest
Forest
Rangers,
Folk,
same
yeah.
with the Forest Prince. So they've got a
Mm,
bit of
mm.
defense as well within that. And
Yeah,
50
yeah.
strength 4 AP1 shots is nothing to sniff at. That's going
No,
to
no.
delete a lot of units.
And can I
I
say it
think they're
again?
quick to fire.
It's cool.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they're quick
quick
to
to fire. I
fire
think
as
I think
well.
they are,
So
yeah. Yeah.
generally hitting on fours. So if
Mm.
they focus fire, then it's 25 hits at strength
Yeah,
4
yeah.
AP ones.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, crazy.
I know. And my shooting list has got to move 6-inch forwards to get in range.
Yeah, of
And I
them.
don't want to get in range. So yeah,
Absolutely.
this is tough. This is going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. Hidden agendas. It was all about our secondaries, which fills me with delight, as you know, because I love Saurian secondaries. And moving on, bottleneck is the deployment zone, and yeah, what do we roll up on those?
Speaking of secondaries,
Yeah, forbid trespass. So I had to choose a terrain feature, and I had to stop Matty getting in it. Basically, it had to be a terrain feature outside of my deployment zone. Yeah, I'll let you know which one that was. But yeah, never confident in that. And settled the score for Matty. And for me, he got to choose a unit of mine, and if it was destroyed, decimated, or shaken, which obviously is something you had to pay attention to, the decimated part. In was it your last battle or the one before? I
yeah, it
can't remember.
was. Yeah, and I unfortunately didn't.
No, indeed. So he had to choose a unit of mine, and if he destroyed it, then he won his secondary. 4 points available. Matty,
Yeah,
the shrewd genius that he is, picked my spearbacks, man. He picked my beautiful spearbacks.
yeah.
And they're even less range than 18 inches. So they were the ones who I was hoping to go forward and just spine tingle some elves. And now I've got
Ooh,
to keep them alive, which not such a good prospect.
yeah.
This is deployment. Massey's got a beautiful army. I don't know how much of the zoomed in I get on them,
A
but we'll
lot.
hopefully.
We've
Oh,
got that
good,
coming up.
good,
Stay tuned, folks.
great, excellent. I took it mid-battle, I think. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so he's got a forest rangers on the left as we're looking at it now. Then he's got a big unit of archers. Then he's got his dragon. Then he's got a dryad unit. Then he's got dryads in the water. Then he's got his sylvan archers behind the hill. Obviously, they're going to be moving on to that hill. Then he's got the Forest Rangers. So it's kind of almost symmetrical, apart from
Yeah.
the dragon in the
Yeah.
wrong place.
And the
But
2D forest is the one that he puts down.
yes, the 2D forest is the one that Matty added to the board. I chose the non-2D forest as the one that I had to stop him getting to.
Okay.
That was before deployment, obviously. You have to do that before deployment.
That's so strange.
And
Yes. So strange.
what my choice?
His choice of deployment with you picking that.
Yes, well, exactly. Yeah, I was quite glad with the way he deployed for me defending that terrain piece, because it was kind of the furthest away from a lot of his scoring. He's got the dryads in the water opposite, but he'd have to come marching straight towards Carnosaur to get into it. And similarly, the archers probably aren't going to be moving forward. So I was quite happy with how he deployed, bearing in mind what terrain piece I'd chosen.
Yeah. And in
Um,
order to plunder it, you have to start in it, don't you?
yeah, game turn
So you're
3
not.
onwards.
Yeah, but you have to start a turn
Correct.
in it. So
Yeah,
you
so you have to
can't just
move
move
into it in
into
turn
it,
5.
plunder it,
No,
and then
nope.
get charged and die. You have to actually
Yeah, you have to do it in
survive at
turn
least one
5.
turn. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then going on to my deployment, I've got the skink gorillas on the left-hand side. Then I've got the Thyroscutus herd, Taurosaur, Carnosaur. Behind the Thyroscutus is one unit of Tegu. Then I've got the spearbacks who are hiding behind the Carnosaur because I need to keep them alive.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo. Oh, Matty, you did me on that one, just emotionally as well as tactically. Then the magnetic shortbow with the skink veteran in sticking out on the side to give them strength 4 shooting themselves. I have to pay to get strength 4 shooting. Matty just gets it. He's Sylvan's art. Forgive him already. Anyway, then the Tegu with the Anorak behind, and the skink unit on the right hand side is just there to make up the numbers, but not really planning on doing anything with them. Yeah, so let's see how we go. Plan wise, it was really for me about just defending that forest and rushing one flank. And when I say rushing one flank, I was absolutely going to go for the right flank as we're looking at it with the Carnosaur. I was just going to run the Carnosaur that direction, and that was it. I was hoping the Carnosaur could do it on his own, basically, is the plan, while the rest of my army anchors
To
the
be
whole
fair,
of his.
he's res 6, isn't he? So the strength 4 shooting is you don't really care about to a certain degree.
What, the dragon, you mean? Yeah, absolutely.
No, your
I'm not
Carnosaur. Yeah.
Oh, my Carnosaur is strength is toughness 6. Yeah, res 6. You're right. With a 3-up armor, so he should be fine to a couple of rounds of shooting. My skinks, on the other hand, wouldn't be, so I did need to be careful with them. Yeah. Matty vanguarded because he was the defender and vanguarded his little unit up a bit again. And then I started my rush. Now, you will immediately notice that I haven't rushed the Carnosaur directly towards the archers. This was a bit of a smokescreen on my part. I knew that I couldn't get to the archers to confidently charge them on my turn 2. Like, even if I ran towards them, it would have been a long charge in my turn 2. Might have stopped them going on the hill, admittedly. So that might have discouraged them to actually getting around to shooting in if my Carnosaur was right in front of them.
Yeah.
But what my plan was to smokescreen by putting the Carnosaur forward in the middle so that it looked like he was interested in the left flank. And then I was planning on veering round past the Dryads towards that right flank. That was my plan. I didn't plan on taking 2 wounds from this bloody forest, which is dangerous terrain to me. That's just annoying. I mean, 2 out of 5 were 6s on the dice.
Does he turn all forests into dangerous terrain?
No, just that one. Just that one.
Okay.
Just that one. So that's another reason why I shouldn't really have done a smoke screen, and I should have just gone full plan A.
Yeah.
Just run straight towards the archers. But it's done now.
He's bleeding.
Yeah. My skink gorillas have vanguarded and moved into the forest to get some cover. My other skinks behind them are hoping that they, don't get noticed, really. The weapon beasts just have to sit there at the back while the Tegu just hold the blocks. My Thyroscooters are standing behind the hill on this side. I didn't really notice that it was a hill until halfway through my turn 1.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, I can't actually do some pot shots at the dragon because I can't get over the hill. I didn't want to stand on the hill anyway because then the dragon might have charged them.
Yeah.
So I've lost a turn of shooting with my Thyro great bows, but I wasn't planning on pushing that flank anyway. So there you go. I get Word of Iron off just to give him a bit more armor. He's a 1-up armor save. That's amazing on a Carnosaur. Love that. So really, he's going to take any shots that come his way and bat them off. Here we go. Beautiful. So good. So good. I just love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think calling them unit fillers is not nice enough for Matty. They're not unit fillers.
No.
They are parts of the army.
I think
so good.
Oh no, it was his highborns that got best paint, isn't he? Out of all last year. But yeah, these are some lovely, lovely armies.
So good.
And they really pop as well.
Yeah.
But anyway.
They do. Yeah. So Matty countered my smokescreen Carnosaur by getting the dragon up and out of my line of sight. So really, I think I dropped the ball with that smokescreen. Both in hindsight, taking the DTs wasn't worth it, and also the fact that I allowed the dragon to get in a position where he can threaten without me threatening him. Yeah. So overall, just a bit of a poor move on my Carnosaur, my part really there. But it's not uncorrectable or whatever the word is. I can salvage that, no problem. No, nothing lost really. And otherwise, his Dryads just move up. Quite a strange move, really. I couldn't really see why they were moving in that direction, but I think it was based on the Carnosaur getting out of the Carnosaur's line of sight again.
Sure. Yeah.
Because obviously he doesn't know that I'm not planning on going at them at all.
Yeah.
So the fact that he could get the Dryads out of line of sight is again a little bit of an oversight on my part. But anyway, the Dryads in the middle were precariously placed on the edge of the table, which none of us were happy with, especially with such beautiful models. But at the same time, he didn't want to move them forward. So, yeah. Interestingly, this is something I worked out in the battle, which I think I was right. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to be a bit annoyed because it might have changed the whole battle. So this is your moment, Lucky Sixes. Tell me if I'm wrong. My Tegu veteran, who is riding the Carnosaur, has Strider Water.
Okay.
The Carnosaur does not.
Okay.
So I feel the model does not have Strider Water.
That would be my inkling.
Because that's what I played.
Also, as a FYI as well, you have metal armor because of the Word of Iron, and that's the bit that is bad for water.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So even if you had, you definitely would have taken terrain DTs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, it wasn't so much the DTs as much as the I wanted him to be in the water to lose his rank bonus and stuff like that as well. Sure. But
I'd say I'd say you go on the mount. It would be
exactly. That's usually what happens, isn't it?
Whether it's actually the case, I'm not sure, but that would be my. I would say initial 80-20 split.
Yeah, exactly. So, but basically, Matty was staying out of the water so that I had to be in the water, which is all kinds of bad for me because I wasn't counting Strider Water because only the rider had it. So, yeah, that was the thinking there. But that's later in the battle anyway. I'm kind of jumping ahead with that as to what I do with the Carnosaur. But anyway, yeah, that's Matty's movement. I just can't remember where we go next. Where do we have some magic for Matty?
The other side.
Yeah, he moves on to the hill, and again, that's possibly because I didn't threaten with the Carnosaur. Yeah, he's going to start shooting my skinks. Kills 4 of them. That's fine. They're the hard target ones. They're the skink gorillas, and I had cover. So, I know we've bigged up this shooting unit, but actually, they were -2 to hit. So give them a break. All right, give them a break.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. So because I took 2 wounds on the forest, I was a little bit worried about marching out of there.
Yeah.
Because if I take another 2 wounds, then my Carnosaur's on half HP.
Yeah.
And so...
Why did you stay in it, though?
What, for cover, you mean?
No, why did you... Because then you can't march again.
Well, charge. I mean, exactly. But I knew I wasn't charging the Dryads. So there was that. If I was charging a dragon and he let me charge a dragon, I was going to suck up those DTs. That was fine. I didn't mind that. But I knew... My issue was I couldn't face the archers because then the Dryads would come in my flank and that would be a problem.
Sure.
And the dragon was there, and the dragon rear charging my guy is dicey. I know I won in the duel, but that was under some different circumstances. I had impact hits and other things going on, and I hadn't taken 2 wounds to begin with.
Yeah.
So, and I think Matty's character and dragon did like 4 or 5 wounds to me in the duel before I killed it. So I knew that the dragon wasn't to be underestimated by any means. So I ended up floundering a little bit with this Carnosaur and not doing a whole lot, which upset me quite a lot. Yeah, but nonetheless, it's going to get worse. Spoiler. But yeah, I moved the gorillas up to shoot at the archers just to shot a few more and to try and get their attention while my other skink unit moves up, getting cover from the forest that they've moved out of. And I can shoot with my strength 4 guys behind. It's the ones behind who are the real shooters, basically. And I'm hoping to kill a few archers with them. Spearbacks continue to hide. I really can't afford to let him target them with shooting because he'll just kill them pretty quickly.
Right. Although currently, I guess if he just ignored everything in front of him, he could.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yes, he could shoot them.
So there is an element of that.
There is. And then... This is such a pivotal point in my eyes. Matty probably wouldn't see it in this way, but anyway, I kill 9. I think I killed 9 of his archers, which
really
is awesome.
Good. Really,
and that's like a couple from the gorillas in front, and then enough to cause a panic test from the ones behind. So that's amazing. I do inflict a panic test, and I should say Corruption of Tin is. I don't think it's actually on the Rangers. It is on the Forest Archers, because they were 6-up armor, and I took their armor off, basically. Just me being nasty to 6-up armor people.
Okay, fair enough.
But anyway, and it gave me +1 to hit, although I still couldn't hit better than 4s, so I don't think it had much effect in that regard. But anyway, I don't kill them. You can see the big skull there to suggest they're not there. Matty takes a panic test. He has no BSB or general anywhere near. He fails his panic test.
Woohoo!
Yeah, woohoo. That is genuine woohoo. Then he takes his flee move. Don't interrupt just yet. Then he takes his flee move and he flees 11 inches off the board. Now, again, that's woohoo. A whole unit of archers. Amazing.
520 points.
We ever? Yeah, it's incredible. After the battle, we worked out that you don't actually flee when you fail a panic test from that sort of thing. You should have just been shaken, which would have meant that they couldn't shoot next turn.
Yeah.
Which it would have been awesome still. But yeah, effectively, Matty's run his unit off the board when he shouldn't have done. And that's big wow for Matty. Yeah. So we discussed it in the morning, the following day. And yeah, there you go. But over here, this is just the situation regarding the Carnosaur and the dragon facing off, with the Thyro now able to move to slightly see the dragon. I think I could get one shot off on it, but there's all sorts going involved with it. So I do 2 wounds to the dragon with that Thyro shooting, so that's pretty good. And then in my turn 3, I move. Oh, we've skipped Matty's turn, haven't we? Yeah. His rangers on the right side are a little bit panicky that they're now solo on their own, with no archers to support them, which is why my skinks at the bottom right get a bit risky and think, hey, we can go and support this situation.
Yeah.
But otherwise, in Matty's world, he turns his dryads. He doesn't turn his dryads around; they're still facing the right way. That was just a movement tray. Yeah. We put the movement tray on the table just so he wasn't knocking it off every 5 seconds.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which he didn't do, but it made us both feel better.
Yeah.
And his dragon just moved up to get a better angle into everywhere.
He's taken a few wounds, his dragon?
Yeah, the dragon took a few wounds from my Thyro shooting. And I think his other dryads and forest rangers on the left just move up to make a better lion than what he had originally. And then going into my turn, I do not march. Oh, that's skipping a bit. No, technically it's a lot's happened actually between pictures, hasn't it? Because I lost the Taurosaur in the middle.
So this is the next picture, but
I lapsed in my picture taking, clearly.
Yeah, one turn this one.
Yeah. So the Carnosaur moved forward.
I think what happened, I think, and I wasn't there, it looked like his dragon charged the Taurosaur, which fled, which is in this position here.
Correct.
Just next to
are correct.
Guys. Fled all the way through. And then, unfortunately for you, did not stop. He saw a stampeding thing over there. I've got to go and get that. And did. And
that was, it's the rally check was on a command check nowadays. So I only needed to roll a 3 or more, and I did not. And he was pretty vigorous with his flee distance, shall we say, because it only took him 2 flees to get that far off the board.
But silver lining, which isn't really a silver lining, it did kind of bring the dragon out a little bit.
It brought the dragon out a little bit, which allowed
me to shoot. Not to go for it.
No, not to go for it, because I would have to charge through the forest, and I saw an opportunity now the archers were gone to kill the rangers and go back to plan A, which was to get that flank. And you'll see also that I'm now being a little bit more aggressive with the spearbacks, who move forward to try and kill the rangers off. And meanwhile, I moved the skink gorillas to hopefully be involved later game in either chaffing the dryads or the other forest rangers, or dying to the dragon and causing it to waste a turn. So I mean, there you go.
You see this, and that's bad.
And then that's bad, because that evens out the archer points pretty much straight away. And then goes into Matty's turn 3, and he charges the world into my Thyroscutus.
Yeah. Fearless?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I couldn't flee. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm fearless. That's going to end the Thyroscutus's day. But that's fine. I mean, yeah, I think we actually rolled a d6 because the flank it was literally on the line whether that was a flank charge. You can see the line there. We measured it so many times to see if his forest rangers were in the flank or the front, and I thought, I mean, me and May, it wasn't a case of he thought one thing, I thought the other. We both agreed it was bang down the center, so we just d6'd it, and this was the result. They got in the flank. It didn't matter hugely for the likelihood of the Thyro surviving because they're going to die to that. So it was all good. This was interesting because he also declared these charges on the Carnosaur. And the turn previous, I was bothered about the Dryads charging into the flank, but I was bothered about that because I thought that the dragon might come in the rear as well, which is why I didn't give him that option. Sure. Now, I wasn't so bothered about the Dryads coming in the flank because I was on the aggression. I was on the offense on this side. Okay. However, both units fail their charge. So,
boom.
Yeah, we're not going to have that fight.
Both needing a 6, I presume.
I think so. I think they were both pretty long charges, yeah. I'm not sure they both needed a 6, but they definitely, either way, they didn't get it. And that does mean now I'm feeling quite good. Oh, hello. Feeling quite good about getting. Yeah. If you worked out every picture from now on. Yeah, it does mean I'm really happy about where the forest rangers are, and I can just pepper them with so much shooting now. Or charge them with my Carnosaur. But yeah. These archers, Matty kind of thought he didn't deploy them great because they weren't really shooting to much effect. Because I had gone so far the other flank, but that was a combination of Matty deploying wide and me ignoring one flank, really. Yeah. So, yeah. Thyros go down. It was funny because Matt used most of his magic on buffing his units, and I was just like, just have them all. Have them all. Because he only had augment spells, I think. Maybe a magic move here or there.
At the time, one of the augment spells buffs shooting.
Sure.
Somewhat. Yes. But that seems to be culled completely out of the magic now. So we won't talk too much about that. Apart from flaming swords, of course, which is still there. But...
Yeah, I think it was a load of foresight going on to both units, and they were dead anyway. Yeah. I moved the gorillas. I was within 3 inches of the dragon, so I had to do this with standard movement, not light troop movement. But I could just reform them because they were skinky and 6 inches, so I was okay. And I know that I can't chaff the dragon. I'm aware it flies, but I was just chaffing the dryads and the forest rangers to give them a turn killing skinks. I did move my Tegu warriors to tempt the dragon into a longer charge. And the reason I was doing that was because it was getting on in turns. I think this was my turn 4. And I wanted the dragon to be busy for a couple of turns while I could try and defend this forest. Okay. So I knew that Tegu warrior unit was a little bit vulnerable down at the bottom, but that was kind of intentional, really. And to see what the dragon did with giving Matty so many options, really. Meanwhile, I move in for the kill on the rangers. You can see the magnetic shortbow skinks and the spearbacks. Yeah, going for it. I think I can kill like all of them or most of them and take whatever comes back. So that was my thinking there. Yeah, and Carnosaur is still floundering and manages to stand in another forest. What am I doing? Yeah, this one's not DT, so at least there's that. There is the confidence on the spearback shooting. I mean, well, how good is that? I mean, mostly I was hitting on 4s anyway, so his forest cloak be darned.
Yeah.
Just forget about your forest cloak, son. I did put, is it Corruption of Tin, the spell on them to reduce their armor save as well, and to give me, +1 to hit, which I didn't use. And spearback strength 5 shooting just rinsed them, absolutely rinsed them. I left a standard bearer. It's not a character. It's not one of the dry characters. That was a beautiful highlight of the battle for me, I'm sure. He charges with the dragon. I flee because that way the dragon has a failed charge, or he has to go into the skinks, which is great. and I'm happy with that. It keeps the dragon from flying somewhere where I didn't want him to be.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I think he goes into the skinks, which he kind of has to do to get rid of them. But yeah, that situation just carries on.
Yeah, great.
Over here, I didn't actually think this was the best play, to be fair to Matty, but I think he was a bit annoyed with his Forest Rangers because they'd failed that charge on the Carnosaur earlier.
Yeah.
So I think he just was like, I'm charging him in to die
because
he's annoyed me.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, if I'd have needed one more turn to shoot or kill it, then that would have been something I had to do rather than him sacrificing him. But either way, it hardly made a difference. This forest unit was dead. There's the multiple charges on these lovely brave skinks that they are.
Absolutely.
And there's the final reckoning for them. His dryads, did move up quite aggressively. He's done another wound to my Carnosaur with his Sylvan Archer unit, which is fair enough. And I have got Word of Iron on again, but so it was good that he got one wound through. The Forest Ranger dies to my Skink Veteran, actually. Popped up and had a little fight because he can handle things. And it's at this point that I realise that I have missed my opportunity, and that was an opportunity to basically accept the points I had and run away. I've now missed my opportunity to do that.
To run away, yeah.
Yeah, to run away, because I'm now fully surrounded by these units, and I've only got a bleeding Carnosaur and a unit of Tegu to stop them. I should say my other Tegu, I think, failed to rally, and they've run off the board. But we might have a picture of them later that might prove me wrong.
Sure.
So either way, they're out of it. Maybe there might be more to play with that. Anyway. Yeah, so I realised that I've lost the chance to back away and give him the objective, basically, and keep my points. And now I have to fight tooth and nail to try and stop this objective going.
Sure. Tooth and claw, some would say.
Some would say, yeah. I haven't got any of them in this army, but yeah. So I go on the offensive to be defensive, and charge the dragon, because I'm like, I know I can win this fight. I will get an impact hits from it, because I can pop the Stampede Resonator Crystal, so I can reenact that duel round, so long as I can not take 5 wounds, but to the dragon this time round, I'll be okay. Matty checks his rulebook, double checks. Dragon ain't fearless. He's off. Oh! Done it! And now that means the Carnosaur's facing down 2 very big ranked up units, which won't mind from fighting in forests at all. Dang, that cowardly dragon. It's as though he knew he lost that fight in the duel or something.
So did you not redirect?
Into what? No, I failed. I failed the command test. I failed the command test. Like, I know I said to you that, command checks are my worst thing in the world. And every command check so far, I failed it. So, yeah, that's why I didn't redirect. So I had to just stumble forward. And, yeah, now I know even more so that I'm not keeping that terrain from being blundered. And if the Carnosaur can survive 3 ranked up units with no chaff, it's going to be tough. If I can keep the Uranararch alive, it's going to be a miracle as well. And yeah, my opportunity to back away from this situation is long gone. Yeah. There you go. There's my failed command test with Maximize, because obviously you take a musician to give you a good chance of passing.
Yes.
Not me. Living Steel goes off on what's Living Steel? Oh yeah, I put Living Steel on the Carnosaur because he doesn't let me cast anything else, basically.
Yeah.
And he charges with the world on them.
Yeah.
And even a Carnosaur is going to struggle against that weight of numbers. So yeah. That's not why he's in the army. He's in the army for a 1-on-1 fight, not a what's that 45-on-1 fight.
I guess.
His shooting kills a few of the skinks because that's all they've got left to shoot.
Yeah, and he has got this. I think it's his flaming swords. Is it?
No, I think it's Foresight actually.
Foresight.
Divination. That's a cool picture actually, with the Carnosaur taking on his whole army. If only I could say it had a happy ending.
Yeah. Because it doesn't.
Yeah, it does not. On the other flank though, you can see that the spearbacks and the skinks are happily just marching down the flank because they've survived.
Got their man.
And that does mean technically that I will draw the objective.
Yes.
Because my spearbacks survive.
Sure.
So there is that. But yeah, because obviously he's now well in the forest. Goes into the Tegu. I charge into the flank because why not? Yeah, I don't expect that'll do well for me either, and it won't. But yeah, everything dies because yeah, they are really good combat units as well. It has to be said.
Yeah.
So I do flee with my skinks, and I think I rally. I can't remember. Might be the only command test I've passed. But yeah, and yeah, I keep my spearbacks alive, and that be that. So going back to like the middle of the battle where I was floundering with my Carnosaur, I really should have just gone full throttle with Plan A and not worried about.
Sure.
And so that was the pivot point that I was talking about, where I think if we play the rules right and the Sylvan Archers don't flee, that would have been better for me, because then I would have stuck to the plan and run the Carnosaur at them and got that flank and backed away from the terrain. But because I ended up turning the Carnosaur around, I lost my chance to stick with the points I would get from killing this flank.
He was like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this.
Exactly. And he ended up doing nothing. He just did nothing, the Carnosaur, in the end.
Sure,
So I think if we play that rule right and Matty's archers stay on the board, I come out with more points than I actually do.
Because
so funnily enough,
in your head you go, well, I need to deal with that. So I need to
deal with that. So I go full throttle to that flank.
So funny, isn't it?
Yeah, really funny. I said that to Matty, and Matty was like, "Oh well, I'll take this. I'll take the points I get from them fleeing."
And points. Speaking of points, I guess.
Yes.
It was ended up a drawn objective because you both got your secondary.
Our target. Well, no, he stopped me getting mine, and I stopped him getting his. So neither of us got our objectives. Actually.
Okay. So
it's how it worked. But same thing. Yeah.
It was drawn on that front.
It was.
And you got enough not to get 17-3'd.
Yes, I did. Yes, so there was that. Yeah, points-wise. Yeah, lovely battle. I enjoyed playing Matty, so thank you, Matty. It was awesome. It was a good, real tactical brain teaser.
Yeah.
And I would absolutely like to meet him again soon in battle.
Absolutely. And, I mean, speaking of meeting Matty P in battle, the next battle report is against Matty P, would you believe it?
Wonderful. For you.
Yes, we get to see how the High Elves deal with the Sylvan Elf lists as well. So, and it's a super tactical one as well.
Amazing.
So, lovely to see.
Cool. And I have talked for long enough in this slot. We are running out of time on our timer, so I will not do too much of a goodbye. We're just going to say farewell, everybody. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Give us some comments on your thoughts on my floundering in the middle. And we'll see you next time, boys and girls, and ladies and men.
And everything in between.
Yeah.
See you later.